On the hour, rugbyleague.com news. Brought to you by Thomson Reuters, the global leader for news.
Coming up, Dolphins still in finals contention after beating the Gold Coast. Ex-Kiwi international cleans up as the Sharks devour Newcastle. And Hull KR coach Willie Peters joins the Kangaroos coaching staff. But first up, the Dolphins remain in NRL finals contention after dispatching the Gold Coast at Suncorp Stadium in the final game of the penultimate round. As heard live and free on rugbyleague.com, the Dolphins were forced to dig deep, but they got there in the finish. 36 points to 30 over the Titans after it was 18 all at the break. But at one stage, it was 18-zip to the home side, and that was after just 13 minutes. For the Finns, a double to Tavita Nafahu, tries also to Trey Fuller, Hamiso Tumbawai-Fido, Izzy Katoa and Cody Nikarima, and Jermaine Asako with 6 goals. And for the Gold Coast, tries to Brian Kelly, Jalen de Groot, Kieran Foran, AJ Brimson and Jaden Campbell, and Campbell also with 5 goals. Earlier, Cronulla Sutherland ripped visiting Newcastle apart, the Sharks winning 40 points to 16 after leading 18-10 at half-time. Former Kiwis and Samoan star Ronaldo Mulitalo getting a hat-trick for the locals. And as for the table, with one round to play, Canberra on top on 44 points to collect the minor premiership, of course. Melbourne, 40 points. Bulldogs, 38. Broncos, 34. Outside the top 4, Sharks, 34. Warriors, 34. Panthers, 31. And the Roosters on 30. Outside the top 8, Dolphins and Manly both on 28. Followed by the Tigers, Parramatta and South Sydney on 24. The Cowboys, 23, but they have the bye for the final round, so 2 more points coming their way. Dragons 22, Newcastle 18, and in the basement, the Gold Coast on 16. In the NRLW, at Robina, the Gold Coast too good for Parramatta, 26-10 the final score. In Brisbane, the Broncos wiped out the Bulldogs 44-0. And on the shores of Botany Bay, the Sharks pipped Newcastle 19-18. And recapping the Saturday matches, the Roosters 30-0 winners over the Cowboys in Townsville. At Cogra, the Dragons beat the Warriors 26-18. And in Canberra, the Raiders 17-16 over the Tigers. In Sunday's Queensland Cup action, which wrapped up the home and away season, on the Bayside, winner Manly 22-14 over the Tigers. And on the Sunshine Coast, the minor premiers Burleigh belted the Falcons 38-14. And by the way, those losses for the Tigers and the Falcons coming after they both confirmed they'd no longer be affiliated to the Melbourne Storm once this season is out of the way. And as for Burleigh, that's 3 times in 4 seasons that they have finished on top of the table. And in the match at Davies Park, South's Logan celebrated the re-signing of coach Carmichael Hunt, the Magpies defeating Ipswich 34 points to 16. South of the Tweed, wrapping up the regular season in the New South Wales Cup, former NRL Premiership winner Chad Townsend guiding the Sydney Roosters to a 50 points to 18 victory over Western Suburbs at Wentworth Park. And on the Northern Beaches at Brookie, a 4th consecutive loss for finals-bound Newtown, with Manly defeating the Jets 42-30. In Country Rugby League in the Sapphire City of Inverell in the New England, the Hawks are celebrating after winning the Group 19 Grand Final, the Hawks prevailing 22 points to 12 against the Tingha Tigers. Congratulations to Inverell. And in the Central West of New South Wales and the Woodbridge Cup decider, Oberon Tigers. Congratulations to them also. They lifted the trophy at Canowindra after brushing aside the Manildra Rhinos 34 points to 8. In Papua New Guinea, week 2 of the finals in the Digicel ExxonMobil Cup at the Santos National Football Stadium, where the ENB Gurias chalked up a 14-9 victory over the Port Moresby Vipers. That was after the Snakes led 6-4 at half-time. And earlier, the Lay Tigers advancing to the grand final thanks to a 24-16 win over the Mendi Muriks, after it was 6-all at the break. The Muriks, who lost just 1 game during the regular season, now with a second chance. That'll be against the Vipers in the preliminary final. In the Northern Hemisphere, Hull KR coach Willie Peters has said yes to the Aussies. According to Sydney's Daily Telegraph, Peters has accepted an offer from Kangaroos coach Kevin Walters to be part of his staff for the battle for the Ashes for the coming autumn. On the field, in Super League, 3 lopsided Saturday matches in the south of France, Wigan kept the pressure on table-topping Hull KR. The Warriors disposing of the Catalan Dragons 40 points to 4 in the game that we called live and free on rugbyleague.com. The Warriors up 16-4 at the break. in what was Catalan's final home game of the season. In the north of England, Wakefield at home carved up Huddersfield 48 points to 2. That was after Wakey led the Giants 18-2 after 40 minutes. And Leeds 34-0 winners over Hull FC. The Rhinos well on their way by half-time when they were leading 24-0. In the second tier, wins for the away teams. The London Broncos 30-16 over Batley, and a crucial victory for Toulouse, who moved back up to second place on the table thanks to a 12-10 win against Bradford. And finally, in Women's Super League, Wigan massacred Barrow 92-0, St Helens 18-8 over York, and 20-all between Lee and Huddersfield. I'm Jason Costigan, and that's latest in news on rugbyleague.com.